Welcome to Thruxton Race Circuit in Hampshire for the final races of the season for the Dunlop National Mini Challenge for the Mini 7 and Mini Miglia Championships. Today's racing sponsored by KentAutoDevelopments.com. We've got the final two races of the season, the two championships having a combined total of 5 races this weekend. We begin with the last round of the Mini 7 Championship for 2020. Championship contenders lining up on the front row for this one. Spencer Wanstall in car number 73 and the 0-1 of Jeff Smith. Spencer Wanstall unfortunately having some problems in the opening race of the weekend, which was a postponed race from Castle Combe Circuit earlier in the season. Wanstall suffering car problems in that one. It was Andrew Devaney who took the win on that occasion. Joe Thompson taking the win in race 2 ahead of Wanstall and Smith. Jeff Smith, the former British touring car racer, in prime position to try and take the title. Spencer Wanstall having qualified ahead of him, the grid for this race being set by lap times during the weekend's second race. So it is Spencer Wanstall on pole in car number 73 alongside the 0-1, the General Lee liveried car of Jeff Smith. Second row number 2 Joe Thompson and the number 5 of Lee Roberts. Third row 77 Andrew Devaney, a winner earlier this weekend, alongside the number 7 of Leon Ollie Window, the Welshman. Fourth row Joe Polly in car number 76, the turquoise blue car, alongside number 31, which is Jordan Sims. And the fifth row number 10 Julian Proctor alongside number 6, which is Graham Davis. Then there's a gap and we've got the S-class cars. That's the scholarship class, less powerful cars aimed at newer drivers to the club. I think it's number 711 of Damien Harrington on pole for them, alongside the driver already confirmed as the class champion, a double winner already this weekend, 787 Connor O'Brien. And behind them we've got 758, which is Matthew Ayres, and 736 Torben Astin in the white car. Third row of the scholarship class, 712 Greg Dorr and 721 of Arnold Duncan. Their fourth row, number 720, which is Ben Cutler, and 784 Ryan Taylor, making his circuit racing debut this weekend, the ex-short oval man. And at the back, 729 Darren Jeremiah in the orange car, and 796 of Mark Chappell. 20 cars out there then for what will be a 20-minute race. Heading out on their green flag lap, they head up through Allard Corner, the right-hander, then through the left-hand sweep of Green Corner, recently renamed after land speed record holder Andy Green, and then it is up towards the complex, all named also after former holders of the world land speed record, Campbell, Cobb and Seagrave Corners. Then it's out onto the back of the circuit into the country, up towards some of the fastest corners in UK motor racing. Spencer Wanstall looking to get back to winning ways then, his title hopes hanging by a thread in the red and black car on pole position. Alongside him will be the orange car, the 0-1, there it is, of Jeff Smith. He's even got the Dixie horn on that car. We heard it at Snetterton as he crossed the line to take a win earlier this season. Joe Thompson in the white and red car on the second row, his first appearance of the season. He's had a win in an earlier race this weekend. He starts alongside Lee Roberts in the orange and black number 5 car. All of the Mini 7 class cars with 1 litre A-Series engines running on Dunlop cross-ply tyres. Dunlop tyres are big supporters of this championship and the more powerful Miglias that we will see later on. The scholarship class cars using 1275cc engines, more road standard power units, slightly less powerful than the Mini 7 championship cars. Some of these drivers have been with this championship for many, many years. Over 50 years the Mini 7 Racing Club has been running its championships. So up the hill they come then, from Church Corner up Woodham Hill, then to the Club Chicane, the slowest part of this extremely fast airfield circuit here at Thruxton. Spencer Wanstall bringing them up to the grid there, 796 Mark Chappell at the back. Now the scholarship class cars start with a slight delay of a few seconds. They'll be started on the flag. The 7 championship cars go on the lights. Track a little damp in places, but sunny weather here at the Thruxton circuit. There's Jordan Sims with the green car, Julian Proctor and Graham Davis. Very experienced mini racers, those two, completing the first part of the grid. Marshall's pulled them into line then. Ready for a start. Spencer Wanstall on the left, Jeff Smith on the right. Look out for Andrew Devaney, the lime green and white car there on the left, number 77, looking to come through from row 3. Taken many wins in Mini 7s over the years. S784, that's Ryan Taylor with the black cross on the yellow background. Also Darren Jeremiah's got one of those. That means they're novices. Green flag is waved by the marshal at the back of the grid. The 5-second board is held aloft. We wait for the red lights to come on. Red lights are on and the first half of the grid will get underway. Away go the Mini 7 Championship runners. Good start by Lee Roberts from the outside of the second row there. They head off. Then the scholarship class runners, the S class, will be started on the flag. There is the Union flag. It drops and away go our second group of cars. So 2 races in one here, the Mini 7s and the S class. We are underway with our second group. The first group heading up towards the complex. It's a good start from the outside of the front row there by Conor O'Brien, already confirmed as the champion, but the leaders are at the complex. Spencer Wanstall has the lead in car 73, Jeff Smith in second, Devaney running wide there at Campbell Corner. He's dropped back a few places. It looks like Graham Davis in the yellow car making some moves from the back of that pack. He's up into around 7th place. Yes, Devaney's down to about 8th, but it is Spencer Wanstall from pole position who leads as they head out through Noble Corner up towards Goodwood for the first time. Jeff Smith in second place, then Roberts third, Thompson fourth. I think it's Leon Oliwindo, the Welshman, in 5th position. We head out towards Church Corner, the fastest corner in the country in UK motor racing. Thompson having a go around the outside there for 3rd place, looking for his 2nd win of this weekend and indeed of his season. Meantime, the scholarship class cars have headed out of the complex for the first time. We'll pick those up a little later on. There's Graham Davis, number 6, making a good start in this one. The yellow car we want to watch. There's Devaney trying to recover from a little slip up at the complex. Arnold Duncan at the back in car number 721. Looks like he may have had a moment somewhere, been rather left behind. As side by side for the lead, Thompson challenging into the complex, and Wanstall's been taken by the 2 leaders. Oh, where's Spencer Wanstall going? Into the wall. That's where wallop straight into the tyre wall. Oh dear. Well, that surely confirms Jeff Smith as the champion this year then in the 7 Championship. Wanstall, he lost the lead there to Jeff Smith and Joe Thompson, who are side by side heading up towards Allard for the 2nd time. It's a disaster for Spencer Wanstall. Everybody else turned left at the chicane. He turned right and went into the tyres. Whether something broke there on his car, I'm not sure. I think he may have got it going again, Spencer Wanstall. Yes, there he is among the scholarship class drivers, weaving about there, maybe trying to shake a bit of loose bodywork off the machine, I think. Leaders heading out into the country once again. It's now Smith from Thompson. 3rd place, it's Lee Roberts. Graham Davis up to 4th. Devaney is 5th. Then we've got Leon Oliwindo. Behind him, it is Joe Polly, partner of Jeff Smith, the leading lady of UK mini racing. She's competed in the Masters historic pre-66 mini division this year, as well as has Jeff Smith. Jeff, the former British touring car racer. His career there sadly ended by injury in a nasty accident at Croft a few years ago. Certainly rejuvenated his career in mini racing. He's lost the lead though to Joe Thompson in car number 2 as they head out of Church. There's the white and red car that leads the way. For Devaney trying to recover here. He's had a good season, in 3rd place in the points, had a couple of wins already this year. At the inside, Jeff Smith under braking for the chicane. Devaney's going for 3rd as well. Smith takes the lead. Devaney back up into 3rd position ahead of Roberts 4th, Davis 5th, Leon Oliwindo is 6th, and 7th it is Joe Polly. I think we've lost Jordan Sims from that group. The green machine is out of the race as Roberts side by side with Davis for 4th place. Little machines always give fantastic racing no matter where they race. Pick up the lead of the S-Class. Further back in the order it is Conor O'Brien ahead of Torben Astin, the former junior saloon car racer. Comes from a family of mini racers, began his career as a junior in a Citroen Saxo. At the complex, it's the number 2 car of Joe Thompson that has the lead ahead of Jeff Smith in the 0-1. 3rd place is Andrew Devaney, then it's Davis, Roberts, Window and Polly. 7 of them together. Have lost the number 31 of Jordan Sims. He is out of the race, unfortunately. Julian Proctor has run into problems as well. We saw him dropping back earlier on. Of course, Spencer Wanstall is further down the order in the number 73 car. Leaders charge through Church Corner. It's a little bit wide through there. Devaney 3rd, then Davis in the yellow and black car. All of them starting to battle now for 4th position. Joe Polly having a go at Leon Window in the number 7. Through Church they come. Thompson still under 5. This is where Jeff Smith is stronger, trying to get on the brakes later for the club chicane. The slipstream there, there's a whole line of 5 cars behind them. Conor O'Brien in the 787 still leading the second race, if you like, for the S-Class cars. He's already confirmed as the champion in that division through the chicane. Thompson holds his lead this time through. Devaney in 3rd place. Going to complete another lap they go. Smith all over the back of Joe Thompson. Then it's Devaney, Roberts, Davis, Window, Polly, the order through for 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th this time. There's a battle towards the back of the field. Mark Chappell on the tail of Darren Jeremiah, one of our novice racers. Here's the battle for the lead in the S-Class, and still Torben Aston. We've got one car into the pits there. I think that was Arnold Duncan, number 721, that has pulled in possibly. Leaders head through the complex once again. It is still O'Brien who leads the scholarship division. We saw ahead of the 736 of Torben Aston. 3rd place in that division looked like it was Damien Harrington in the 711, who's raced in a couple of other mini championships over the years. Leaders out in the country once again, still Thompson from Jeff Smith. It's a great shame Joe Thompson wasn't able to contest the full season this year. There's the battle in the scholarship class. Damien Harrington's dropped back a bit there. Looks like Matthew Ayres is up into 3rd place in that division. Out in front it is the 787, that is O'Brien. The name Inch on his front radiator grille there. That's Paul Inch Race Engines, a mini tuning specialist, supplier of engines to a number of these drivers. Here comes Jeff Smith with another attack for the lead up Woodham Hill into the club chicane. They're all over each other for 3rd place as well. Can Smith get the inside line? He is later on the brakes this time. Retakes the lead from Joe Thompson. Jeff Smith, a hugely popular character in touring cars, and he is here as well in his mini, sliding the car there through the chicane. I wonder if the Jeff Army are watching on. That was the name for his legion of fans. One car in the pit lane there we can see on the right. I think that's Julian Proctor, the number 10 car that's pulled up. One of our runners further back. This is the 721 car, Arnold Duncan. We saw him make a pit stop earlier on. There's Darren Jeremiah towards the back of the field in car number 729. One of our novices just learning his craft. The leaders through the complex once again. Through the left-hander at Cobb, then up to Seagrave. And it's out into the country once more. The threatening skies here at Thruxton. Let's hope we're not going to have a cloudburst. Jeff Smith with the lead back again ahead of Joe Thompson. They've swapped places a fair few times already in this race. This is carrying them clear of the 5-way fight for 3rd place, headed up by the green and white machine of Andrew Devon. They're absolutely on the limits of adhesion there through Goodwood Corner. Charge their way up towards the long, fast right-hander at Church. The touring cars reach nearly 150 miles an hour through there. Joe Thompson thinking about an attack. There's Devaney in 3rd. It's Joe Polly up into 4th place. Here they come through Church Corner. There's the scholarship battle further back. Pretty frantic in there, as you can see. Greg Dawn, 712 at the back of that group, hanging on to their coattails as Thompson and Smith at line astern. Thompson with the lead back again. They're swapping places constantly here. This is brave stuff. Here comes Smith again. He's got this move patented now. Late on the brakes into the chicane. He's done it again. Retakes Joe Thompson for the lead. They bounce over the curbs. Further back, Joe Polly looks like has got through into 3rd position in her number 76 car. There's 729 Jeremiah, another Paul Inch tuned machine, learning his craft, and hanged on to the back of the scholarship class dice. Good to see Ryan Taylor in there as well. Here's the scholarship dice. We could have a change for the lead into the chicane. Yes, Torben Aston has got through ahead of Conor O'Brien. It's Matthew Ayres in 3rd place in the grey car. Then in 4th position behind them, Damien Harrington. Then it is Greg Daw in 712. I think behind them a little further back, 784 Ryan Taylor, making the move up from mini stocks, racing on the short ovals this weekend. No bashing about with the front bumper in this field of racing though. Thompson leads overall ahead of Jeff Smith. Out into the country they go once again. The background, we just caught a glimpse of the S-Class runners. Torben Aston at the front of that division. Again, Thompson having to defend in the Altered Image sponsored car. Here's Jeff Smith again at Church. He's never going to get through there on the inside. Surely we saw Thompson do that earlier on. Here's the battle for 3rd. Let's see who's going to come out with the lead as they come up towards Woodham Hill? Will it be the orange of Jeff Smith? Will it be the white and red of Joe Thompson? It is Smith back in front. He's made it stick to there. This is terrific stuff. Slipstreaming each other, these two, around the Thruxton circuit, up towards the chicane once again. There's the battle for the S-Class lead. Still Torben Astin on top in that. Thompson's got the lead back again on the run into the chicane. He's outfoxed Smith at his own game. This is brilliant stuff. Thompson from Smith, swapping the lead on virtually every corner. Over the line they go to complete another lap. Meantime, Torben Astin chased by Conor O'Brien for the lead of the S-Class division. Down towards the chicane they head. There's Ryan Taylor in the 784. We mentioned him a moment ago, down in 6th in the division. I think that's possibly Spencer Wanstall just ahead of him. Yes, there is Wanstall recovering from his off on the first lap. You can see one of the headlights has been knocked out on his car, but he's on the recovery drive. Let's see if he can catch the quicker 7 championship runners-up. Here's the 2 leaders. Thompson from Smith heading out of the complex this time. Joe Thompson up towards the left-hander at Noble. Jeff Smith chasing as hard as he dares. In the background I caught a glimpse there of Conor O'Brien trying to make a move to take Torben Astin for the lead of the scholarship class. There goes the battle for third. It's Polly ahead of Davis now, with Andrew Devaney in 5th place. There's 3 distinct races to watch within this race. There's Leon Window, number 7. See his name on the window of the car there, attacking Andrew Devaney. Hanging on behind them is Lee Roberts in the number 5, but here's the battle for the lead. Jeff Smith's going to try yet again down into the club chicane this time. He goes for the inside, and he gets close enough to do his late braking manoeuvre. I think he's going to try it. He's got the inside line where he's very late on the brakes this time, Jeff Smith, and he's done it. Superb from 0-1. Jeff Smith, the General Lee, flies into the lead once again. Instead of the American-style flags on that car, he's got the Union flag proudly on his roof, and he's back into the lead. He'll be sounding the Dixie horn for all it's worth as he tries to pull away from Joe Thompson. They're well ahead of the rest, you can see. There goes the 3rd place battle through now. Joe Polly ahead of Andrew Devaney, who's back up into 4th position. Where are the S-Class runners? Here they are. Torben Astin sideways through the chicane. He's under pressure from Conor O'Brien. 3rd is Damien Harrington, number 711. Matthew Ayres is 4th in that group in the grey machine. They've pulled clear of the rest, and there is Spencer Wanstall moving back up the order. Next in that order is Greg Dorr. Then we've got Ryan Taylor. Ben Cutler is further back behind them. Then Mark Chappell, Darren Jeremiah and Arnold Duncan rounding out the runners. There is Jeremiah further back in the 729 car. Just under 7.5 minutes of this race to go now. Smith and Thompson continuing to trade places at the front of the field. Spencer Wanstall back up into 12th overall now, we can see from the graphics. 8th in class. Lost a couple of runners early on, Julian Proctor and Jordan Sims out of the race as Darren Jeremiah takes a shortcut at the chicane. We caught a glimpse of there. If he gained a place there, which he didn't, he could be penalised for that. And Joe Thompson taking a wide line here. He knows Jeff Smith is going to slingshot him into the chicane. He's got the move done earlier by the look of it this time. I wondered if Thompson put a wheel onto the grass briefly there, but Smith yet again through on the inside. He does that every lap. Thompson stronger in the rest of the lap in the white car. Through the chicane they come. This time Smith will lead at the line from Thompson. Thompson ready to slipstream him back again. The sky starting to darken here at Thruxton. Is it going to dump its contents all over the track? We hope not. We don't want the rain to start again. Waiting now for our next battle to come through. There's 784. That's Ryan Taylor. Very different machine to his armoured mini stocks that he used to race on the short ovals. He's moved up to the circuits now. He's turned 16 years of age, the youngest man in the race, making his debut here this weekend, and well done to him. Had a good place in the second race. He missed race 1, which was the rescheduled race from Castle Combe earlier in the season, which was called off when the circuit was flooded. Taylor got a 6th in class in the first race, but never mind that because the leaders are side by side. Once again, Jeff Smith's got his headlights out. Look at him, 4-wheel drifting that car out of the right-hander there at Goodwood. Thompson fights back again. This time it's Thompson on the attack, going down towards the club chicane it will be. Can he play Jeff Smith at his own game here? Joe Polly still in 3rd place, under pressure from Andrew Devaney. Then Lee Roberts next in the order, Graham Davis and Leon Window next in the order. Then we've got the S-Class runners. Cam Thompson, he's seen this move done to himself any number of times. Conditions are beginning to worsen here at Thruxton, to say the least. The rain is coming down. Jeff Smith hanging on to his lead this time. We see the top three in each class there on the right of your picture. They slide their way through the chicane. The headlights are on. It is going to get very treacherous over the last quarter of this race. Jeff Smith has led for a whole lap now. That hasn't been done so far in this race. We've got yellow flags there. Somebody's pulled off on the start-finish line. Virtually, I think that was the 758 of Matthew Ayres running in the S-Class, has retired from the race there. There's 712. That's Greg Dorr. There's Arnold Duncan going for a bit of a slide through the complex. And there's Ryan Taylor, 784. Smith has actually increased his lead there slightly from Thompson as they go into the complex. They're way ahead of everybody else, but it is absolutely bucketing down out there. This is what I feared would happen. A bit of debris there on track as well at Seagrave, I noticed. The driver's going wide to avoid that. Have to take it steady for the rest of this race. Jeff Smith doesn't know the meaning of the word steady. You'll see him continuing to throw this car around as he's doing there, almost twitching there as he goes through Goodwood Corner up towards the back of the circuit. Thompson has dropped back now into second place as it pours down. Pick up the third place battle in a moment as well. There's a couple of back markers going through. Andrew Devaney, who's got third away from Joe Polly now. They're nearly 16 seconds down on this lead battle. The gap was half a second last lap through, but Smith has pulled away now from Joe Thompson. Coming down towards the chicane once again. Smith looking ever safer at the front. They're coming up to lap the 721 of Arnold Duncan. Remember, he made a pit stop earlier on, so is a long way behind. Over the line they come in the gathering gloom brought on by this rain shower. Let's hope it is just a shower. That's the stranded car of Matthew Ayres there, and yes, the gap has opened by nearly a second that time through. Here's a battle further back, and Torben Astin going well. He's caught the quicker 7 class runners. He's passed Leon Window there on the run into the chicane. Damien Harrington is up to second in that class, and Greg Dorr showing, second and third in that class, those two are, because here's Conor O'Brien. He's got ahead of Spencer Wanstall again, so he's pulling away. Apologies for the confusion there, the class is overlapping a bit. So Conor O'Brien has got the lead still in the S-Class. Torben Astin second, but he's got ahead now of Leon Window in the number 7, so the two classes are overlapping. The rain proving a great leveller here at Thruxton. Just over 2 minutes of this race to go. Looking at the lap times, we'll be heading on to their last lap next time around. The leader has lapped Arnold Duncan in 721. The 700 numbers are the scholarship class. Conor O'Brien could be heading for a victory in that one, but a great recovery drive by Spencer Wanstall, it has to be said, up into 8th overall, having gone off at the end of the first lap at the chicane into the tyre wall. I thought he was out of the race, but he's recovered very well indeed. Final race of the season for the Dunlop Mini 7 Championship, supported today by KentAutoDevelopments.com. Coming round to start the final lap this time. It looks like it is going to be a win and the championship for Jeff Smith in 0-1. Championship challenger Spencer Wanstall. He's fought back up the order, but it's not going to be enough to overcome Jeff Smith in the points, even with drop scores taken into account. Over the line goes Jeff to begin his last lap. The board is out from the marshals. Joe Thompson looks like he's settled for second now. Here's the lead battle in the S-Class. It's still Conor O'Brien, already confirmed as the champion, of course. Still ahead of Spencer Wanstall. Torben Astin second in class. Third in that division is Harrington. And then it is Greg Dorr with the yellow roof we saw there. The leader's now lapping Darren Jeremiah. Jeff Smith should be able to cruise to victory here. The lap speed greatly reduced by the wet conditions in the closing laps here. It looks like Joe Thompson has now settled for second place. I'm sure it would have been a three-way fight if Wanstall hadn't made that mistake at the end of the first lap after losing the lead. Out to the back of the circuit for the final time. Jeff Smith Effectively a victory lap, this one. Former British touring car racer with the likes of the Eurotech Honda team. He's coming in for victory there. Spencer Wanstall, he's got back ahead of Conor O'Brien. Conor heading for the victory in the scholarship class. It'll be a hat-trick for him in that division, and his 6th victory in a row in the S-Class to confirm the title. Jeff Smith is heading for the Mini 7 Championship for 2020. Although that Spencer Wanstall is a long way behind him, his championship rival. Going to take a complete disaster on this last corner for Jeff Smith to lose the title now. Here he comes into the chicane for the final time. No problem at all. Race winner and Mini 7 champion 2020. Here he comes, Jeff Smith in 0-1. Takes the checkered flag. Smith wins the race, with it the championship. Joe Thompson takes second. And we lost somebody there on the final lap. That's Greg Dorr, number 712. He's pulled up at the complex out of the race. Damien Harrington coming home. 3rd place. Looks like it's going to go to Andrew Devaney in the 77. Ahead of Joe Polly in the 76. Then Lee Roberts in the 5 car. Graham Davis in number 6 should be next home. We'll confirm the rest of them shortly. The win in the scholarship division will go to Conor O'Brien, his 3rd win of the weekend. Well done to Jeff Smith and Joe Thompson. A brilliant battle in the early stages, but when the rains came, Jeff Smith was the master. Graham Davis has not come through, incidentally, in the battle further back. Looks like we've lost him on the final lap, unfortunately. So that means Spencer Wanstall will go up another place. Race winner and 2nd place head round on their slowdown lap, taking the applause of the marshals. Our thanks to the Orange Army, our volunteer marshals here at Thruxton this weekend. We couldn't go racing without their sterling efforts, braving the rain in this one. They give the drivers a wave up at Church Corner as they go through. And then the celebrations will start in the pit lane. There's Graham Davis, he's pulled up at Church Corner. So a couple of late retirements, Graham Davis and Greg Dorr, both not making it home. One lapped car in behind the leaders there. That was Arnold Duncan, finished a couple of laps down. Celebrations will be very raucous, I'm sure, for Jeff Smith in the paddock after this one. Such a popular figure in UK motorsports from his days in the British Touring Car Championship. His son Brett, also a racing driver, took over Jeff's drive, in fact, after Jeff suffered injuries in that nasty crash at Croft a few years ago in the Honda Civic. He really has revitalised his career, racing alongside his partner Joe Polly in their minis. Joe just missing the podium here in 4th place. You see her car there, the blue car in the background. And they head into pit lane and Parc Fermé. We'll hear from Jeff Smith very shortly. Shame the rain dampened things in the closing stages, because otherwise that lead battle could have gone right to the checkered flag. See the Mini Miglia Championship out next, and also the Mini Libre class for the slightly more open entry of minis. Some rather different cars in that one. We'll confirm the result then of our Mini 7 race. The win going to Jeff Smith ahead of Joe Thompson. Andrew Devaney completing the podium. 4th going to number 76 Joe Polly. Lee Roberts was 5th. Good recovery by Spencer Wanstall into 6th position. Conor O'Brien taking 7th place and winning the S-Class. 8th place going to Torben Astin. Leon Window was 9th, and rounding out the top 10, Damien Harrington. Behind him, Ryan Taylor. Then the other finishers, Ben Cutler, Mark Chappell, Darren Jeremiah and Arnold Duncan. We lost Graham Davis and Greg Dorr on the last lap. Other retirements, Matthew Ayres, Julian Proctor, and on the first lap, Jordan Sims. Winning margin just over 3 seconds for Smith over Thompson. They were separated by less than a second for most of that race. O'Brien's winning margin over Astin just a couple of seconds in the S-Class as well. Conor O'Brien confirmed as the S-Class champion. Well done indeed to all our drivers. It was far from easy in the closing stages there here at Thruxton this weekend. Jeff Smith just getting out of his car down there in the paddock, following victory in our final Mini 7 race of the season. So we'll head down to the paddock in just a second and hear from race winner and champion Jeff Smith.
Well, congratulations. First things first, you're a race winner on a very challenging day. How was it out there?
Yeah, it was very challenging. As you say, it suddenly changed. You can see the rain sort of coming over. I know Andrew Davini's gone on wets. It looked like he was going to probably catch us mid-race, but yeah, I had some good practice, and it was the only one that went out on slicks in race 1 yesterday. Everybody else pretty much went on wets. I got P2 yesterday, and then I knew where to drive on the track in slicks today when it came wet, so it worked out well.
So did you have to take the gamble then? Because at the top of the show we were talking about how great the sunshine was. We knew it wouldn't last. And how long were you out there for? Was it best part of a lap or a little bit longer when the rain did start to come?
No, it's probably four laps. So it's yeah, it's pretty hairy.
Well, a great way to end the season. Of course, the celebrations. We heard this. Well, actually, for the newcomers to the racing, just talk me through the car. It's the General Jeff, it's part of the scene, and you're a huge character around here. When we get to hear the horns at the end, when did it all start? Talk to me about that before we talk about it.
Just a bit of fun really. As a kid I used to see General Lee, and last year I won the O plate, and then I won the series outright as well, so it was a 0 and a 1, and I begged the club to let me run 0-1, and they said, well, the MS UK won't let you, and we ummed and ahed, and I thought, well, let's just try it, and hang on, if we're going to do that, we better paint the car orange. We were white last year, and then it sort of progressed from that to we better stick some air horns on it as well then. So yeah, just some fun really. It's why I came racing in the first place. As everybody knows, I went to touring cars, and that ends up getting very, very serious and very stressful. A lot of pressure on you. Came back to club racing and absolutely loving it. The team around me are fantastic, the club's fantastic, the drivers are really good.
Well, you're certainly doing a brilliant job, and the car certainly looks the part and it races the part, and so does the man behind the wheel too. How would you look back on this season?
Really challenging, believe it or not, although I pulled away quite a lead there. I've had some fantastic racing, particularly with Spencer Wanstall, Andrew Davini as well. Myself and Spencer, I've got a lap on board where going around Donington where he's on the outside of me, and we've literally just given each other enough room, and then he got the undercut on me and he's on the inside of me for the next lap. Absolutely fantastic, literally through trainers, old hairpin, the whole lot, and just amazing racing, and the right amount of respect with drivers. It's absolutely fantastic, and that's perhaps a bit of the frustration with the touring cars, where if the car comes up the inside of you, you know you're going to get run off the track. With these guys, there's an amount of respect there, and we don't want to go home with bent cars and big bills, so we just about give each other enough room. So yeah, it's really good fun, and very hard as well. People think just because of my background it'll be easy. It's not. They make me work hard for it.
And with everything that's going on at the moment, how good does it feel to just be out there racing?
Oh, it's fantastic. I feel so privileged that our sport has managed to put something together, and we've managed to pretty much all keep safe in the paddock. That's, it's fantastic that we're doing it. Hopefully people at home can see it and listen to it, and it boosts them a bit, because it's pretty horrendous times at the minute when you're stuck at home and can't do anything.
Well raced today, and thank you very much for your time. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Yeah, brilliant.
Well, thanks to Jeff there, but unfortunately I can tell you that after the race Jeff's car failed post-race scrutineering, and he was excluded from the results of the Mini 7 race, which not only cost him the race but also the championship when dropped scores were taken into account, and Spencer Wanstall is your champion. Bad luck to Jeff Smith. Congratulations Spencer Wanstall, who inherits the championship for 2020. We move on though to our next race, which is the Dunlop Mini Miglia Championship and the Mini Libre class as well, the invitation class, effectively for slightly larger engined minis. The Mini Miglia is more powerful at around 130 brake horsepower. They run on Dunlop racing tyres as well, and the championship has already been won coming into this final race of the season by number 21 Aaron Smith, and Aaron electing to sit this race out, so we won't see his pink car on the grid for this one. We will see though Nick Padmore, number 56, in pole position alongside 23, which is Rupert Death. He won the second race of the weekend earlier on. No Aaron Smith on the second row, but Sam Summerhays, who won the first race of the weekend, number 85, is there. The third row, number 78, which is Scott Kendall, and number 0, Colin Peacock, been racing with the Mini 7 club for many years. The fourth row, number 11, Kane Astin, saw Torben Astin representing the family earlier on, and number 37, which is James Cuthbertson. Then we've got 19, James Colburn, although I think he might be a non-starter, and number 82, Darren Mason, is there. And then number 26, Peter Arnold on row 6. Then there's a small gap and we get the Mini Libra class. Dan Lewis leading them, number 171. Then alongside him 500, which is Rob Davis. 219, Richard Colburn is there representing the family. Peter Cruz in his familiar Britax liveried number 177 car, been racing minis for many years. And the other car we should have there is 113 Phil Harvey, but I think he's also a non-starter. This will be another 20-minute race, a rather slick track as you can see for these more powerful minis. So we're missing a couple of cars off the grid. Nick Padmore will be one to watch here. The white car in pole position. We haven't got our new champion, unfortunately, as we mentioned, Aaron Smith, electing to sit this one out. He started his championship celebrations early, retaining the title this year. While in the Libra class, which is the invitation class for a variety of minis, it's between Dan Lewis and Rob Davis. Phil Harvey, who's third in the points, has not made the start, so they go off on their green flag lap just as the sun comes out again here at Thruxton. Well, Nick Padmore, very highly rated historic racer, not just in minis. He's held the lap record at the famous Goodwood circuit in Sussex with a Lola T70 sports car. Also even races historic Formula 1 cars on occasions. He's got an old Williams from the early 1980s that he competes in as well, among other things. I remember Nick starting out in the 1990s. First car I saw him race was a Ford Fiesta. Great Oaks from Little Acorns Grow and all that. There is Nick, the white car, behind him with the Union flag on the boot lid. That's Rupert Death, already a winner this weekend. A race winner with the Mini Miglias for many years now. Sam Summerhays is there in the blue car, the man from Bristol. Then in blue and pink we've got Scott Kendall. He's in a couple of mini championships over the years. Then it's the black car of Colin Peacock, the 0 car. Colin's been with this championship for certainly more years than I can remember. Real expert at mini racing. As is Kane Astin, number 11, the blue and Dayglow yellow car. Alongside him it'll be the yellow and blue car of James Cuthbertson, number 37. Rupert Death second in the points at the moment, Sam Summerhays third, and Colin Peacock in fourth. Summerhays the first winner of the weekend. Cuthbertson rounding out the top 5. The other contender for a major place in the points, Lee Deegan, but he's not here this weekend. Usually races the ex-Peter Baldwin car. Peter still prepares the car for him, one of Britain's greatest mini racers of all time, Peter Baldwin. There are the leading Miglia class runners. 1293cc engines, about 130 brake horsepower. Very spectacular racing to come here at Thruxton indeed. The track's starting to dry out after the earlier rain shower. Hopefully that'll lead to even more improved action. The Mini Libra class has engines allowed up to 1380cc. Could see average lap times of over 90 miles an hour here in these drying conditions. Nick Padmore leads them up to the grid then in the white number 56. Put in a star performance when this championship supported the British touring cars at Brands Hatch earlier this year. A bright rainbow greets the cars up to the grid, and some real brightly coloured cars as well. There was somebody pulling into the pits there. That was Scott Kendall, I think, in the blue and pink car. It looks like he has had a last minute hitch. He may start from the pit lane. So Padmore in the white, green and blue car alongside Rupert Death, the number 23. The silver and orange car with the Union flag on it, the boots and the bonnet. So it looks like they're almost all into line then. The 4 Libra cars at the back. No Phil Harvey at the tail of them. We've lost, I think Scott Kendall might be changing tyres there. Yes, a last-minute tyre change for Scott, and we'll see how he goes from the pit lane. The green flag waves then at the back. The 5-second board is held aloft. Almost ready to go racing with the Mini Miglia Championship, supported by Dunlop Tyres and Kent Auto Developments. Away they go. Off they go towards Allard for the first time then. Who's going to make the best start? Looks like Nick Padmore's got away well there. Scott Kendall just putting those new tyres on. He'll join in at the back of the field. They stream out towards the complex for the first time. Who's going to be leading as they come towards Campbell, Cobb and Seagrave? Then looks like it's Rupert Death who's got the early advantage. Way onto the back of the circuit already for the first time. It is Death who's got the lead. Summerhays side by side with Padmore the second. Colin Peacock in fourth. Kane Astin up to fifth ahead of James Cuthbertson. The rest of the field starting to sort themselves out behind. Looks like Darren Mason has dropped back in the green and white number 82 car, but it's Death who leads the way. You can see the track surface still fairly damp out there. There's Kane Astin ahead of Cuthbertson. That's the battle for fifth position. I was right the first time. Apologies there. Dan Lewis leading the Libra division further back in 7th position overall. Now if he wins that category here, he will be the champion. It's between him and Rob Davis, the number 500 for the championship in the Mini Libra class. Side by side between Astin and Cuthbertson up towards Church Corner. That's a brave move now at Woodham Hill. Here they come into the chicane for the first time. Rupert Death in car number 23 holds the lead ahead of Nick Padmore in the 56 in second. He's shaken off the attentions of Sam Summerhays for now. Sam Summerhays also raced older minis with the likes of the Classic Sports Car Club. He's there in third place. Colin Peacock in the black car in fourth. And our fight for fifth, the 2 blue and yellow cars. Further back, Lewis in seventh in the orange car there. Second place in the Libra division at the moment looks like that is Rob Davis. Also in there is Richard Colburn, number 219. I believe he's the father of James, who's also racing here this weekend. See there, Scott Kendall's car still being worked on. Looks like the tyre change has been completed. He'll join the race a lap down. Nick Padmore on the tail of Rupert Death. Now, is the tyre change going to pay off? We'll see if Scott Kendall can make up the ground with that change of tyres. There's Dan Lewis leading his category. Quite the second between Colburn and Rob Davis as Nick Padmore at the inside coming out of Goodwood takes the lead from Rupert Death. So Nick Padmore, historic racing ace, moves into the lead. Rupert Death in second place. Padmore, as we say, was the star turn at the Brands Hatch meeting earlier this season, battling with the likes of Andrew Jordan, former British touring car champion, who these days loves his historic racing with his father Mike. It was great to see him out earlier this year with the championship. Had a win at Castle Combe as well in the first race, but never mind that because Rupert Death has a look on the inside of Nick Padmore, retakes the lead into the chicane. Same move as we saw from Jeff Smith in the sevens so many times earlier on. Up over the line they come then. To complete the lap, it's Death from Padmore by 0.3 of a second. Summerhays in third, Peacock is fourth, 2.5 seconds back off the leader. Kane Astin is fifth ahead of the 37 of James Cuthbertson. Then Lewis will be next in the order, leading the Libra class. There is Scott Kendall. Behind him it looks like problems for the 82 of Darren Mason. So Scott Kendall has joined the race. He's over a lap down though. There's the red machine of number 82. That is Darren Mason. It's Peter Arnold in the green and white car. Apologies further back, not Darren Mason. My mistake there. Bouncing over the inside of the Seagrave corner there was Kane Astin. Holds the place ahead of James Cuthbertson in the battle for fifth position. Peter Arnold possibly with a problem in the number 26 car. We saw him touring at the back of the field. Running 8th in the Mini Miglia class at the moment. Let's hope he can keep going. Timing not showing him as having come through on this lap. Padmore and Death continue their duel for the lead meanwhile. It's Summerhays in third, Peacock in fourth position. Now what's Rupert Death going to try up to the chicane? He's going to try and go to the outside this time, but Nick Padmore covers the inside. Into the chicane they come. Padmore, he's going to maybe drift wide on the exit there, just a little bit too quick into the chicane, but he holds it together over the curbs. Death will have to attack again next time through. Nick Padmore in the Swift Tune sponsored car. Nick Swift, mini tuning expert, and Nick, leading exponent in historic mini racing as well. If you want to know how to throw a mini sideways around a whole lap of a circuit, then Nick Swift is your man. Where's number 82? That's Darren Mason. He's got ahead of Peter Cruz in the Britax Cooper, number 177 there. There's the battle in the Libra class. Lewis ahead of Richard Colburn. Behind them is ahead of the 500 of Rob Davis and Richard Colburn. So Davis in second, the two blue cars together there. There's the fight for fifth position, Aston and Cuthbertson. Colburn and Davis swapping places constantly. Nick Padmore still has the lead overall though. Lewis leads the Libra division. Running right out wide there as they go towards Church Corner. Trying to find the driest line possible. It's still pretty damp at that end of the circuit, you can see in the sunlight there. 14 minutes of this race to go. Padmore from Death. Now is Rupert Death going to try a late braking move into the chicane again this time? Right on the tail there of Nick Padmore as they head towards the chicane, but again Padmore's covering the inside line for the right-hander. Good defensive driving by Nick Padmore in the 56 car ahead of Rupert Death. One a historic racing expert, the other a Mini Miglia expert. Rupert Death been a race winner in this championship many times over, a former champion as well. There's the fight between Colburn and Davis, the two blue cars still swapping places. Davis in the lighter blue machine there with the black roof. That's for second in the Libra class. But Rob Davis needs to catch Dan Lewis if he's going to face any chance of taking the title. Kane Astin still ahead of James Cuthbertson in the battle for fifth overall and fifth in the Miglia division. There's the 78 of Scott Kendall playing catch-up, having started the race late. He came in on the green flag lap to change tyres. Made up a couple of places on the road, but he's still a lap down on everybody else, of course. Down to the chicane, sporting the name of Paul Inch on his car. The whole of the Inch family have raced at minis over the years. Paul, expert in tuning engines for them. There's Colin Peacock trying to close in on Sam Summerhays for third place. Lead gap has opened out a little here, 12.5 minutes of the race to go. Padmore's got the straight line speed advantage, but Rupert Death seems to be stronger under braking, as he's proving here, coming up towards the chicane. He's going to have a look on the inside. Padmore goes a little bit wide on entry this time. Still held it. Still Padmore who has the lead. Across the line they go. It's a 20-minute race for the Mini Miglia Championship and Mini Libra Championship. There's the battle for second in the Libras. Rob Davis having pulled away a bit from Colburn. Peter Cruz, the only other runner in the Mini Libra division, with his Britax liveried Cooper. Leaders are at the complex. Rupert Death trying to close up again on Nick Padmore. Great fight between these two. They're well clear of the fight between Summerhays and Peacock for third place. They've all split into pairs, haven't they? Padmore and Death, Summerhays and Peacock, Astin and Cuthbertson. Davis and Colburn battling together. The only man with nobody to fight with at the moment is Dan Lewis. He's just getting on with leading his class, keeping his head down. He knows if he takes the class win, then he will win the Mini Libra Championship. We're towards halfway in this final race of the season. Oh, Lewis with a mistake there. He could lose the class lead. I said he'd got his head down and was trying to keep the lead of the class, but he got into a big slide there coming through the complex. Now, can Rob Davis catch him? This could be crucial. If Davis can get past there, this could change things for the Mini Libra Championship. Meantime, up front, Nick Padmore still continues to hold his lead ahead of Rupert Death. Slightly different lines again through the chicane. Meantime, it's almost side by side behind between Summerhays and Peacock. We'll see what they do at the line. Peacock Just having a good look there as they came into the chicane. Further back in the order, Peter Cruz has got ahead of Darren Mason. Here's the battle for the lead in the Libra class now. They are 3 together, so Dan Lewis has certainly got somebody to battle with now, but that's not exactly what he wanted. Here they come into the chicane. There's Lewis in the orange and yellow car. Right on his tail, here comes Rob Davis having a look up the inside. Richard Colburn is there in 3rd place. Further round, Colin Peacock has taken 3rd place away overall from Sam Summerhays, so he moves into a podium spot in the Mini Miglias. There's the top 2. At the line it was Davis who had his nose in front of Dan Lewis. So Davis now leads the Mini Libra class. Those two will take the title here, of course. It may come down to dropped scores if it stays like this. We'll have to see how it works out after the race. Just past the halfway point now. Just over 9 minutes to go, and Nick Padmore continues to lead from Kane Astin in second, from Rupert Death in 2nd place. Kane Astin, I was about to say, has lost out to James Cuthbertson for 5th position. The battle's starting to break apart now, but not these two. Rupert Death is not finished yet, tries to close up again. He's got a good run here coming down the straight into Allard. Will he be able to make a move for the lead at the complex? It's Peacock 3rd, Summerhays in 4th place. Here's the battle for the lead, and Lewis has slipped down to 3rd now behind Richard Colburn. Look at this, Dan Lewis could be in problems here, trying to fight back up the outside as they go down towards these chicanes, trying to take the lead of the class back again. Here they come into the chicane, and Dan Lewis up the inside. He's taken one, he's taken both of them. Oh, superb on the brakes there from Dan Lewis. He's retaken the lead of the class. Is he going to lead at the line? Rob Davis had the lead last time through, but I think Dan Lewis has done enough to retake the lead of the Libra class. Past both of them at Woodham Hill there, and under braking for the chicane. That was a daring move indeed. He has got the lead back again, confirmed on the graphics there. Davis down to 3rd behind Richard Colburn in the 219. Meantime, the 2 leaders coming through Church. It's still Padmore holding off everything that Rupert Death can throw at him. What can Death do into the chicane this time? All problems at the chicane, and that's Rob Davis. Davis spins, he's lost the boot lid there as well. Well, we'll see what happened there. Was there any contacts? And the safety car is out because Davis's car is stuck there on the curb at the chicane. So the safety car is coming out. You can see it leaving the pit lane there. It'll pick up Nick Padmore, who's got his hand in the air to slow the cars behind down. Now we're just over 7 minutes of the race to go. The safety car out, and it's Rob Davis's car stuck at the chicane, and I think that means he's going to be out of the race, and that's going to give the Libra class title to Dan Lewis. He spun there at the chicane. Well, I don't know whether there was any contact in there. We saw the boot lid had come loose on Rob Davis's Mini, but he's going to be out of the race. The Ford Focus pace car, safety car is out on circuit, and we'll pick up our race leader. There is Nick Padmore, the white car, still ahead of Rupert Death. This will close the field up as well. Colin Peacock in 3rd place. Sam Summerhays is 4th. Also in there a couple of back markers. I think they're being given the signal to go around possibly. Rupert Death, you can see, has got his headlights on to try and intimidate Nick Padmore. There's the top 4. The rest of the pack will close up. The marshals will be removing Rob Davis's car from the chicane. The other car we've lost from this race, incidentally, Peter Arnold, number 26, the turquoise and white car. He was having problems early on. But the clock's still counting down while the safety car is out on track. The drivers weave from side to side just to keep their tyres warm, these Dunlop tyres. Is Rupert Death going to try and jump past Nick Padmore on the restart? The light's still on top of the safety car at the moment. When they go out, it means it's coming in this lap. It's the Swiftune car of Nick Padmore who has the lead. Of course, the drivers fighting here won't win the championship. That's already been secured by Aaron Smith, retaining his Mini Miglia title for the second year running. Lights are still on top of the Focus at the moment. Looks like we may do another lap here. It's Mini Miglia Championship finale, sponsored by KentAutoDevelopments.com and Dunlop Tyres. It's the safety car staying out. There's the offending car, Rob Davis, being towed into the pit lane. His race is over. And that's the Libra class decided in favour of Dan Lewis, number 171. Just got to keep going now. Of course, if anything happens here, we'll have to bring dropped scores back into account, and we'll wait and see. But as long as Dan keeps going here, he should take the title. Richard Colburn on a one-off appearance this weekend in the 219. Should have seen James Colburn out there as well, but a non-starter in this race. This has allowed Scott Kendall to catch back up as well. There's the 78 car at the back, the blue and pink machine. Still a lap down though. You can't overtake under safety car conditions, of course. Single file, no passing. Padmore, Rupert Death, Colin Peacock, Sam Summerhayes, Kane Astin, James Cuthbertson, and then it's Dan Lewis, Richard Colburn. There's Scott Kendall, Peter Cruz and Darren Mason, the other two cars still running. We saw them sent round from the back so the safety car could pick up the leader. The lights go out on top of the safety car, so we will be going back to racing this time. We'll get a couple of laps in this one. There's just over 2.5 minutes of the race to go. This starts to pick up as they head down towards the chicane. The breakdown truck is back in its parking place, we see that, having taken Rob Davis's car back to the pit lane. His race is over. 11 cars left running then for this, what will be a 2-lap restart. Here we go. Safety car into pit lane. Nick Padmore will put his foot down, and away we go with the restart of this Dunlop Mini Miglia Championship finale. Exactly 2 minutes on the clock as they took the green flag there. It's Padmore and Death who once again pull away from Colin Peacock. The Libra class cars slightly left behind by the quicker Miglia runners by about 1.5 seconds at the line. Now is Rupert Death going to seize the opportunity to try and attack here? He hasn't got onto the tail of Nick Padmore at the moment. But in a slipstreaming class like mini racing, similar to Caterham racing, you don't want to be leading coming into the last corner, because somebody will try and slipstream up behind you and zap you going into the corner. That's what Rupert Death, I think, is going to try and do here. He's got 2 chances to try and do it. Here they come then up towards Goodwood corner. Padmore from Death. Pretty close, you know. Will we see a checkered flag go out this time? It might only be a 1-lap sprint. We'll wait and see. They're heading towards Church Corner now, then up towards Woodham Hill. Still Padmore from Death. Third place is Peacock. He's pulled clear of the fight for fourth between Summerhayes, Astin and Cuthbertson. Up towards the chicane. Looks like they will get one more lap in after this. Rupert Death trying to pull up alongside Nick Padmore. He goes round the outside of him, coming into the chicane. He gets on the brakes very, very late there. Rupert Death's done it. Brilliant move round the outside into the club chicane. Now he'll be hoping to see the checkered flag this time. Now he's done that, but instead he gets the last lap board. There is 1 lap to go. 23 seconds too early there, Rupert Death. They've got 1 more lap to battle for this victory. Colin Peacock has pulled away in 3rd place. 4th place, Summerhayes side by side with Cuthbertson. Kane Aston has dropped down to 6th. Now, can Rupert Death hang on in front here? Nick Padmore had led virtually all the way up to the safety car. It's given, look at him lifting a wheel there, Rupert Death, as they come through the complex. Nick Padmore trying to close back up in the white number 56 car. Colin Peacock on his own in 3rd. He's going to complete the podium. Ian Summerhayes close for 3rd place in the points. Rupert Death is going to secure 2nd in the championship behind Aaron Smith with victory here. Nick Padmore, of course, further down the points chart, only his 2nd appearance of the year. A lot of other racing commitments in the historic racing world for Nick. Through Church Corner they come for the last time. Last lap of the season for the Mini Miglia Challenge, sponsored by Dunlop and Kent Auto Developments. Here they come up towards the chicane. Is Nick Padmore going to try and make one last move on the brakes? He goes to the outside. They're going to be side by side on the run into the chicane. Look at this. Death on the inside. Padmore goes out wide. I think he's gone a little bit too wide. He won't cut back in front of Rupert Death there. Death only got to put his foot down now. Here he comes up towards the line. Rupert Death will take his 2nd victory of the weekend. Takes the checkered flag. Great drive by both of them. Nick Padmore 2nd. Colin Peacock finishes in 3rd place. 4th will go to Sam Summerhayes, just ahead of Aston, who got back ahead of Cuthbertson. Kendall behind them finishes a lap down, but he will finish 8th in class. And Dan Lewis just beats Richard Colburn on the line to win the Mini Libra class and take the championship. My goodness, what a frantic sprint for the line that was. Thoroughly enjoyable racing as always from the Dunlop Mini Miglias and Mini Libras. Congratulations Dan Lewis, number 171, winning the class only just ahead of Richard Colburn there by only a couple of tenths of a second. And congratulations Rupert Death, your overall winner. About half a second was the margin back to Nick Padmore there. Nick tried to get alongside into the chicane, just couldn't quite get the line away from Rupert Death after Rupert's excellent move around the outside on the penultimate lap. Helped by the safety car, of course, for the unfortunate Rob Davis. He and Peter Arnold, the retirements in that one. A head round on there. Slow down lap then. In the sunset here at Thruxton, concluding a wonderful season. Once again, a truncated one, but still very enjoyable indeed. 11 races held in total for the Dunlop Mini Miglias and Mini Libs this year. So championships for Spencer Wanstall in the 7s, Aaron Smith in the Miglias, Dan Lewis in the Mini Libras and Conor O'Brien in the Mini 7 S class. Congratulations to all of them. Drivers on our head back into pit lane. Waved home by the spectators and the marshals. Our thanks again to all the volunteer marshals for their services, to all the other officials here at Thruxton as well, and to our sponsors Kent Auto Developments and Dunlop Tyres, the championship sponsors. So the drivers head back into pit lane and park firmly. And we will shortly hear from our race winner, Rupert Death.
Race, and you crossed the finish line first. Congratulations, how are you feeling?
Oh yeah, no, that was a really good race. I knew that Nick and I had broken away, and then when we went under the safety car, I was like, oh no, got to do it again. But no, we managed to break away again, and I knew I'd got the legs on him in a straight line. So I was sort of biding my moment, because I know leading here is not a good move. So I thought, it's got to be the last lap soon. I was like, oh no, the last lap belts out and I'm already in front. But we did it.
What were the conditions like to race in? Because it's certainly changed overhead a lot throughout the day, but what's it like under the tyres?
Extremely slippery. I'd say from yesterday, it's probably more greasy today. Yeah, conditions are like skating on ice. But yeah, all good fun.
The incidents that led to the safety car coming out, did you have eyes on that, or did it all happen behind you?
No, I wasn't sure. I think it was one of the Libra cars. I think had a little spin at the chicane there, and it's in a difficult position. And I think that's the reason they brought the safety car out. Other than that, I don't know.
Other than the great ending for you, how's the season been? How have you enjoyed racing the Miglias this term?
We've had a bit of an up and down season. We seem to have come on towards the middle of the season, and we had a bit of bad luck at the beginning. And we've played around with settings and setup, and we seem to have come forward now, and I'm really pleased with the car. Yeah, it has to be part of you, and it seems to be working at the moment.
And bigger picture stuff, I think the theme amongst a lot of the drivers and the people involved is it just feels great to be here at places like Thruxton racing again. Is that a sentiment that you share too?
Oh, absolutely. You know, obviously what's going on in the world at the moment, we're extremely lucky to be out here racing. And I think everyone's, you know, being sensible and abiding by the rules. And yeah, you know, it gives a bit of morale, and you know, gets everyone fired up, and yeah, no, I think to be part of it is fantastic.
And obviously feeling great at the moment because it's a victory. Always feels good to win. But looking to the future, can we expect to see you in a Miglia again soon?
Oh, of course. We always say at the end of each season, "Oh, I'm not doing it again. I'm not doing it again." We'll be out in 2021.
Congratulations today. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Thank you very much, mate. That was
Many congratulations then to Rupert Death on his race victory. All that remains in a moment is to confirm the official results of that final race of the season for the Dunlop Mini Miglia Championship. Victory going to Rupert Death by half a second ahead of Nick Padmore. Colin Peacock in third, some 6.6 seconds ahead of Sam Summerhays, who just beat Kane Astin and James Cuthbertson to the line. Dan Lewis winning by a couple of tenths in the Libra class ahead of Richard Colburn. Peter Cruz finishing behind him, and then Darren Mason and Scott Kendall next home. We also lost the cars of Peter Arnold and Rob Davis, of course. Davis bringing out the safety car, Peter Arnold and early retirements. Well, that wraps things up then for the 2020 season for the Mini Miglia and Mini 7 Championships run by the Mini Racing Club. Our thanks again to our sponsors, KentAutoDevelopments.com. Our thanks to all the drivers for their entertainment as well over what's been a very entertaining, if shortened, season for one of Britain's most entertaining forms of club motorsports. That's about all from here at Thruxton then. Thank you very much indeed for watching, and goodbye.